So tonight we have turkey dinner number 4. I'm going to be making a pot pie with these ingredients. This is the filling of the pot pie. This is the leftover soup from 2 days ago. And I'm going to be making my own pie crust. I have the recipe back here. I'll put it in the description box too. A note on the pie crust. I tried to make the pie crust last time in my mixer. Big mistake. Big mistake. Just make it in a mixing bowl. Do not put it in a mixer. Leave it there for about 10 minutes and forget about it. And then when you come back and you bake it, it's like eating sand. Don't do that. Just mix it until all of the ingredients just come together. Don't over mix it. So I have a little bit of shortening left on the recipe. I need 3/4 of a cup. This is 1/4 of a cup. And this is what's left in here is probably about a half. We're going to make it work. So I'm going to take the shortening out and put it in here. And I'm going to have 2 cups of flour. And this is my flour. I'm going to put 2 cups of flour in here. So I have the shortening in here and all of the flour. I'm going to take my pastry cutter and just try to break up the shortening a little bit. And you just kind of do this until you get, they call it a shaggy texture. The shortening kind of like break up into about pea-sized pieces. Good. This is my little water here. And you only want to put enough water for it to just come together. I'm going to start with 3 tablespoons. I added about 2 additional tablespoons. And it's coming together. 1 more tablespoon. But it's coming together, I think. Get this together into a ball and put it onto my mat to roll it out. So this is perfect. This is what you're looking for. I'm going to let it sit here for about 15 minutes so that the dry flour that is still in here can mix with the shortening and the water to kind of hydrate that a little bit, and that will keep its shape a little better if I let it sit for about 15 minutes. So I brought my flour over here, and I need some of this liquid in here to put in here first. I'm going to make a roux. So I just pulled out like a couple tablespoons of the liquid. There's a few veggies in there too, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take some flour, this is about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put that in there. This is a great time if you're doing this after Thanksgiving. This is a great time to use your gravy if you made your own gravy. Now I'm going to add in these 2 jars into here. All right, now my jars are in here. You just got to bring it up to a simmer a little bit for probably no more than 10 or 15 minutes. It really thickens up pretty quick with that flour in there.
Pie 9 or pie 10?
I think if you go to 9.
9?
Because this is the bottom crust that we need, so it needs to be a tiny bit bigger. So because I didn't have enough shortening when I made the crust, it was a little crumbly. So what we did is we put parchment underneath it and parchment on top, and we're just rolling it out that way. And this way, you can move it too. Like you can move it that way to move it around. Put over into here. Put it in your pie plate.
Good job.
Thank you.
Let me try.
Yeah, you want to do it?
And then just like put it right here.
Yeah, it's kind of like Play-Doh.
It is like Play-Doh. Edible. Disgusting.
Well, yeah, it doesn't taste good without the filling. Yeah.
It's just really salty. What do you want?
We're busy.
Oh, look at that dog go.
Do you want to go show the filling?
Yes.
Go show them the filling.
Okay, so the filling right now, it is like boiling.
That's good. We want it to be boiling.
It's boiling, and it is doing stuff. The filling is boiling.
Yeah, we need to boil it to evaporate some of the liquid. Really? Yep. There we go. All right, now I'm going to roll out the bottom. And see that you're looking for, it's reduced by probably about half. You can tell by the way it's bubbling that it's thickened up. quite nicely. You scared me. I'm going to take this off of the heat now, and I'm going to put it in our pie crust. All right, now you just pour it into your pie crust. Let's see if I can manage this. All right, let's try this. Ooh, is there too much filling? Just barely makes it on there. I'm going to let this sit for a second to cool off before I put the top crust on, but it looks like it fits in there pretty well, and once these edges are sealed, it'll be perfect. It looks like the perfect amount of filling. So I put the top crust on, and I didn't roll it out into a complete circle. So I'm taking some of these pieces to try to keep the filling in when it bakes. That's pretty much my only concern. I don't want it to go everywhere in the stove. I'm just kind of pinching around the edges. It's a little ugly right there, but it's okay. It's okay. You're gonna eat it, right? Like, does it matter? I'm not serving this to like the Queen of England or anything. I am just serving this to the 3 people that live in this house. I want to make sure that the edges are sealed in there so that you don't have any boil over of the filling. Need to add some. The reason that they put the slices in the pie is to vent it a little bit. So if it does boil over, it boils over in the middle where there's venting, and it doesn't boil over here. Got my sharp knife. I'm going to just put a few. You don't need, like, it doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be perfect. It is really just damage control more than anything. And then it goes in the oven. I have preheated the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. I'll let you know how long it took ultimately, but I'm putting this in the oven right now. This cooked for about 45 minutes. When it's done, it kind of makes like a hollow sound when you tap on it. And we're gonna wait about 20 minutes to cut into it. If we cut into it now, the inside is still a little liquidy and warm. Yeah. So you kind of have to you gotta let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes.
You don't want a river.
Yeah, you don't want a river of pot pie. I mean, you do want a river of pot pie.
But like, not a river.
Not for dinner. So I don't cut into this like a normal pie. It doesn't really,
pie?
Yeah, it doesn't pie very well.
You can't just like...
Yeah. I just scoop it out with a spoon to serve it. And it still does sort of turn into a river of pot pie, but we don't really care around here. So we don't really care.
As long as it's pie shaped.
Exactly. Like you've got the filling.
As long as there's food.
You've got the crust. Do you want more? Yes. Or is that good? Meal number 4. We still have 2 more meals that we can make with this turkey. So we have to figure 2 more meals that we can make with the turkey, and it's almost done. Tomorrow, I'm going to make pulled turkey, like pulled chicken, pulled pork, but with turkey. And then another day, I'm going to make taco soup. Those are the last 2 meals.
Taco soup!
All right. See you for day 5.